Hello everyone and welcome to this hands-on lab. In our lab today, we will learn how to create, configure, deploy, and invoke a LLM-based agent using Amazon Bedrock AgentCore's Starter Toolkit. This is the part 4 of this series, so let's get started. These are some reference URLs that I've mentioned right here. I would certainly recommend that you visit these URLs as they have additional information on this particular topic. I've also created playlists on my channel for both Amazon Bedrock and AgentCore. And as I create additional tutorials and labs, I will have them added to these playlists. All these URLs will be mentioned in the description of this video. Scenario for a lab today. So in our lab, we will create, configure, deploy, and invoke an agent that uses a LLM model behind the scenes to respond back to the user's prompt. And we will be doing this using Amazon Bedrock AgentCore Runtime. Now I have created a repo on my GitHub account. The repo name is Amazon Bedrock AgentCore. I would certainly recommend that you fork this repo, and it has the required source code for this particular lab. This URL will also be mentioned in the description of this video. Otherwise, you can go to my GitHub account. In fact, let me quickly check. So this is where it is. So this is my GitHub account, and this is the repo that I have created. This is a public repo. And if you come over here, you can see part 4. And if you go inside in part 4 into this particular folder, you will see all the files that are required for this particular lab. So let's continue ahead. So step 1 is environment setup. Now I will be using US East 1 for this lab. You can use any other region where AgentCore is supported and available. I typically like to provision an EC2 instance for most of my labs because I don't like to clutter my laptop. So I will be provisioning a T3 medium instance with Amazon Linux 2023. You can use kernel 6.12 or 6.1 with 60 gigabytes of disk space. Once our instance has been provisioned, we will SSH into our instance using PuTTY, and then we will execute all of these commands to basically perform system updates, to set up a Python virtual environment, and also install all the required Python packages, including Photo 3. So I had actually demoed this and all of these steps in part 3. That is when we created a simple agent. For our lab today, in order for us to expedite the lab, I have actually completed all of these steps. You don't need to do anything. You just need to basically provision an EC2 instance, or if you're doing this on your laptop or your desktop, just ensure that you have all of these installed. I would recommend that you go with an EC2 instance for this particular lab, because otherwise you will get a lot of conflicts. Okay, AgentCore is in preview, and sometimes it does become a little unstable. So simply provision an EC2 instance, SSH into it, and basically execute all of these commands. Now, all these commands are actually available over here on GitHub, and you can go to allcommands.txt, and you will see that what you need to execute is basically from line 1 to line 15. So these are all of those commands that we saw earlier. Just execute these commands in a serial order as they have been shown over here, and you will be just fine. So for myself, I have, as I said, completed this. So let me quickly check my Python version. It should be above 3.10. Since we have installed 3.12, we should get that version. And let me also check the version of my Boto 3. So there it is. It should be 1.40.49. So I am good to go. So step 1 has been completed. Now step 2. In our step 2, we will create our user and our execution role. I'm going to give this username. You can give any username that you like, but ensure that this user has access to the AWS Management Console. If you are using an existing user, then ensure that you have its access key and secret access key handy. Okay. And associate these policies: CloudWatch logs full access and Amazon Bedrock full access. So let us now basically go to IAM, click on create user and create this particular user. So I'm going to copy this from here, paste it right there. Provide access to AWS console. I want to create a user. This is a temporary user, so give a temporary password. I'm going to give a very simple password. Show password, just copy it and paste it right here. Okay, so that you don't miss it. The user doesn't need to change the password on next login, and click next. We are going to attach the policies. So now say cloud watch logs full access. So this is the one. And the next one is Amazon Bedrock full access. So select this, click next, and click on create user. Click on view user, and there it is. So we have essentially created a user successfully. Now we need to create its access key. And this access key is going to be created to provide access to applications running on an AWS compute service. After the access key has been created, we will download these access keys. So go back over here, go to security credentials, and click on create access, application running on an AWS compute service. Check, next, create access key, copy this, paste it right here, and copy this and paste it right there. Download this so that you don't miss it, and we are good to go. So we have essentially completed this step. Now we need to create a custom inline policy for a user. This is the policy name, and this policy is available in this particular file on GitHub. So let's go back, go to permissions, add permissions, create inline policy. The service that we are going to select over here is AgentCore. Click on JSON, go to GitHub, and now go to AWS policies, my AgentCore user policy. This is the one. Click on that and simply copy the whole policy. So Control A, Control C, Control A, Control V, and I think we are good to go. Now this policy is only for this lab. Please do not use this policy in a production environment. As you see, it's giving you a warning, and that is because of this. It will want me to basically only enable this for a specific resource, but right now I'm just going ahead with this. Next is basically give a policy name. So I'm going to say my AgentCore user policy. Click on create policy. So we have created our inline policy for our users successfully. So all of these steps all the way until here have been completed. Now we need to go ahead and create our execution role. So this is our execution role. But before we create the role, we have to create its custom policy. And this is our custom policy. So basically go to policies, click on create policy, select the service agent. It's going to be Bedrock AgentCore. Click on JSON. Go back to your GitHub. Go back to AWS policies, and there it is. My AgentCore execution role custom policy. Copy the whole policy, Control A, Control C. Come back, Control A, Control V. Go to Visual, scroll down, click on Next. We will have to give a policy name over here. So I'm going to copy this policy name, Control C and Control V. Create policy. So a policy has been created successfully. Now we will go ahead and create our execution role. So this is going to be again for agent. So basically select, okay, let me move this. Sorry, I had my screen share bar over there. So Amazon Bedrock AgentCore. Next. And now over here, we need to come and select our agent policy. So this is our policy. This is my AgentCore execution role custom policy. So select this policy. This is a policy that we just created. Next, let's give a name, and that is going to be my AgentCore execution role. Okay, create role. And our role has been created successfully. So we have essentially completed these two steps. Okay, these two steps. Now we need to edit the trust policy for this role. And we have that also on GitHub. So if you go over here and you go to trust relationships, edit trust policy, go to GitHub, go to AWS policies, go to execution role trust policy, and copy the whole thing, Control A, Control C, come back over here, Control A, Control V, okay, and click on update policy. And there it is. So essentially we have completed step 2. Step 3. In our step 3, we will install and configure AWS CLI. And these are the 2 commands that we need to use for that. You have these commands again on GitHub. So go back to your commands folder, all commands. Remember, we've executed commands until here. Now we have to execute this particular command. So copy this command, Control C, go back to your EC2 instance. So this is my EC2 instance right here. Let me make this window a little bit bigger. Paste it, hit enter. Clear the screen. And now we will configure our CLI. So Control C and Control V. Okay. Okay, so now we have to basically provide our credentials. So this is our access key for a user. So Control C over here, paste it right there, hit enter. And again, Control C, come over here, right click, hit enter. Our region name is US East 1. So we will give that as our region name. So I'm just going to copy it from here. So Control C, paste it right there. And the output format is JSON. So we have basically configured our AWS user for our AWS CLI. So step 3 has been completed. Now we will go ahead and install Bedrock AgentCore Starter Toolkit. And these are the 2 commands that you should follow. And once we have installed it, we will basically use this particular option, that is the help option, to verify if AgentCore has been installed successfully or not. Please note that AgentCore does not have a hyphen version option. It does not have this option. Hence, we are using the help option. Okay, so let's go back to our GitHub and copy these commands from there. So the curl command, come back over here, paste it right there, hit enter, and then finally install the starter toolkit. So copy this command, uv pip install Bedrock AgentCore starter toolkit, hit enter. So it executed beautifully, clear the screen, and we have completed this step. Now let us go ahead and verify our installation. So AgentCore and sorry, what do I have after that? Is hyphen help. Unfortunately, hyphen doesn't work on my computer, so I will have to copy it. So paste it right there, hit enter. So there it is. So this is the only option that is available, as you can see. And these are the different commands that are available with AgentCore. So clear the screen, and we have completed step 4. Now step 5. In our step 5, we will create our LLM-based agent. I'm going to give this particular name. You can give any name that you like. So let's go over here and create this agent. So VI LLM. So I'm going to say, sorry, my LLM agent.py. Hit enter. Hit on I or press I. So you will be able to insert. Now let's go to our GitHub and copy this piece of code. So this is our agent code, my LLM agent.py. Come over here, Control A, Control C, and basically come here, right click and paste. Hit escape, colon, WQ. Hit enter. So we have essentially copied our code successfully. Now this is the code. Okay, you can take a look at this code at your leisure. I can zoom in a little bit if you're not able to read it. But essentially, we are using Bedrock AgentCore. We are creating the app. Then we have, this is our model right here. So the model that we are going to use for this lab is Amazon Titan Text Lite version 1. So let me quickly annotate it. So this is the model. Okay. So we are going to use this model. You can use any other model of your choice, but ensure that you have access to that model. The model is cost effective. This model is cost effective. Okay, so that's why I've chosen a lighter model because it's a lab. And most importantly, if you choose some different model, then you might have to come back over here and possibly make some changes to this code. Okay, so I would recommend that you go ahead with this particular model so that you can execute this lab seamlessly. Okay, so now we are going to look at the payload. This is where we are creating the prompt. The prompt has been received. If it's not received, it's going to throw a message, as you can see over here. And then basically, let me erase this. If you come over here, this is where you will see this is absolutely important. Okay, this part. This part is very specific to the Titan model, so the Titan text models. Now what we are doing is whatever prompt that we get, you see that I have mentioned over here input text. That is because the Titan text models expect their prompt to be in a specific manner. Okay, so hence once you get the prompt, you just don't send the prompt directly. You will massage the prompt and you will add that prompt to the request body and then send it. So you're sending your model ID, your request body, your content type, but this is absolutely necessary. Why am I highlighting this to you? This is critical. If you don't have this, the model will not work. Okay, and that's why I said that, hey, if you use some other model, then you will have to create the prompt as per that model's requirement. So what I'm doing is I'm basically collecting the prompt from the user and then basically adding this input text over here, copying the prompt or adding the prompt over there, and then sending it to the corresponding model. Okay, so I'm highlighting this to you. If you change the model, please come back over here and fix this. If not, just continue with the Titan text model and you will be just fine. Okay, so we are good. Let us go further down. And you see there's some little bit of exception handling and we are good to go. So take a look at this particular piece of code at leisure. But right now, what we are going to do is we are going to continue further ahead and basically go to step number 6. So we have completed this. So go to step number 6. Now in step number 6, we will basically create our requirements file. So let me go back, clear the screen, say vi requirements.txt. Hit enter. It only has 2 lines of code. So press I, so it will go into the insert mode. And you can actually go back to GitHub, go to AgentCore requirements.txt, and here you will see these 2 lines. So copy these 2 lines, so Control C, come back over here, right click, paste, escape, :WQ, hit enter. And now, where are we? Okay, so we have basically completed these steps. So step 6 is over. Now step 7, we need to ensure that our user has access to our model. So if you remember, when we created the user, we gave it access to the AWS console. So what we will need to do is we will need to basically log in through a console and then check if this user has access to this model. If it has access, that is great. If it does not, then we will have to provide access to Titan Text G1 Lite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly log in and then basically check the access for this particular model. So I'm going to stop the recording, log in, and then resume the recording. So now I'm logged in as my AgentCore user. If you remember, we had given it full access to Amazon Bedrock. So go to Bedrock. Now over here, we will check if this particular user has access to our model. So go to Model Access, scroll down, and there it is, Titan Text G1 Lite, and it has the required access. If the access is not there, then go ahead and request the access. But in our case, we are good. So I'm going to basically sign out from here and sign back in. So we have completed step 7. We logged in and checked if our user has access, and it does. So we are good to go after this step. So step 8. Now in step 8, we will configure our agent. And this is the command to configure our agent. So let's go over here, back to our EC2 instance. Clear the screen and say AgentCore configure, and I am going to basically copy this real quick. So -e my LLM agent, that is the name of my Python file. So this is what I have. So it looks good. Hit enter. So now it is asking us if you want to use the same name as the agent name. And I'm going to say yes. So hit enter. It has detected a dependency file, which is requirements.txt. And yes, it should use that file. So hit enter. Execution role. So now it's asking us for an execution role. If you hit enter over here, it will create a new role. But we don't want to do that. Why? Because we have specifically created an execution role with certain policy that is associated to it so that our entire process goes ahead smoothly. So basically go over here into your console and copy the ARN for that role that we created. This is my AgentCore execution role. And basically come over here and paste it right there and hit enter. Okay, so give the ARN of the execution role that we created. If you straight away just hit enter and allow AgentCore starter toolkit to basically go ahead and create a role on your behalf, then that will might not work really very well. A lot of time it actually gives a conflict. So hit enter. Now it is asking us, do you want me to auto create an ECR, which is a repository, which is fine. So hit enter. Authorization. We do not have any OAuth, so say no. We don't want to pass any request headers, so say no. We don't need any long-term memory, so say no. Short-term memory is enabled by default, as you can see over here. Okay, but this is no, so hit enter. And our agent core has configured our agent successfully. And now it is telling us that these are the agent details. Okay, and the next step is to basically launch the agent. So if I go back over here, we have configured the agent. Step 8 is complete. Step 9 is to launch the agent. This step will take some time. So please be patient. Now, this is the most critical step. Okay, so please be patient. It will take some time. Let's just hope that it goes very smoothly. If we have done everything correctly, we should not face any challenges. And once our agent has been launched, then ensure that you copy the agent runtime ARN and the ECR repository URL. These are visible both on the console, that is the AWS console, as well as over here on the Linux console. Okay, so clear the screen, AgentCore, LAUNCH, launch, hit enter. So hopefully everything goes fine. If there are any challenges with the permissions or anything else, then it will crib and cry and let you know that it is not able to do something or this XYZ has failed or something like that. We don't want any of that to happen. So hopefully this entire process just continues and completes seamlessly and beautifully without any errors. That's what we want. So let's just hope. Let's go take some more time. It's in a post-build phase now, which is a good thing. Okay, completed. Launching Agent Bedrock, Agent Core. Okay, there it is. Amazon Bedrock Agent Core has been launched successfully. Awesome. Now, if you scroll up, you will see all the details that I was talking about. So this is the name of the agent. This is the agent ARN and the ECR URI. You can copy this okay, from here, or it will also be visible on your console. So let's go to our console now. So where's Bedrock? This Bedrock. And under Bedrock, we are going to go to AgentCore. That will open up in a separate window. And over here, we are going to go to Agent Runtime. And we should be able to see our agent over here. So this is our agent right there. So click on it. So this is our ECR image URL. This is our runtime ID. And this is our ARN right here. So this is our agent runtime ARN. This is basically has been given over here in a sample. This is a sample code to in Python to basically call this agent. Okay, so remember the last three of this particular agent is DFK. Okay, so now we have essentially completed these steps. Now let us continue further ahead. So now we will basically go ahead and invoke our agent via the AgentCore CLI. Okay, so let's go back to our Linux console. This is the Linux console right here. Scroll down, clear the screen. And now we will basically give this particular command. So AgentCore invoke, we're going to use the invoke command and send this as a prompt. So Control C, we want our agent, which is an LLM-based agent, to write a poem for us. A poem on autumn. So hit enter. And there it is. So you can see a beautiful poem has been returned. Now let us quickly go to CloudWatch. So if you go back to your agent and click on CloudWatch agent logs, this is log groups. And over here, we have to say DFK. I believe that was our agent name, if I'm not wrong. Was it DFK? Let's go back and look at our agent. What was our agent name? I think it was DFK. Yeah, there it is. So if you don't see it immediately, don't be alarmed. It typically takes a few minutes, sometimes even 10 minutes for it to show up over here. So I'm trying to look for our agent's work log stream. Hopefully it comes over here. Okay. Not yet. Let's go to observability and see if we have something over here. Okay. Okay, so it's telling us that we have an agent, we have deployed it, which is a good thing. And we don't have anything in memory or built-in tools or anything of that sort. Okay, so let's turn on the CloudWatch transaction search. So let's see if we can do that. It's again going to our cloud logs. So transaction search, in my case, the transaction search is enabled. If in your case it is not enabled, then please enable it and then go back to log groups. And then again, look for DFK. There it is. Finally, it has come. And if you now go inside and take a look at the logs, you will see all of this information. In fact, what we can do is we can start trailing. So start tailing it. Okay. And I'm going to go back to my Linux console. Say, write a poem on, I don't know, USA, on the United States of America. Hit enter. Okay, it's written a beautiful poem for us. Let's go back over here, and it takes some time for it to show up. Hopefully it shows up fast because we are tailing it. It should not take longer. Okay. Okay, still no. Okay, let's try and see if we have something in the logs over here. So refresh. Okay, groups. Now this is challenging because it takes some time for it to show up over here. So these are some credentials. We are not interested in the credentials. Did it show up over here? Not yet. Okay, we are not interested in the credentials of the role or anything of that sort. Again, the same thing. Okay. I'm basically interested in, there it is, I refreshed it again. Let's see if I can find it this time. No, not yet. We are basically trying to look for our command, the command that we had sent out. And it's basically only showing me the logs um, for for the role. Okay, so this is 241.43. So let's go back and clear the screen and then say write a, okay, no, I'm going to say tell me a joke on, tell me a joke, okay? Tell me a joke. Hit enter. Let's see where this thing goes. So 241.43, 241.43, still 241.43. Okay, let's see if we have got a response. Okay, so it cannot provide any kind of jokes. Okay, so say, tell me, okay, I'm going to say something else now. What is the capital of France? Hit enter. Paris is the capital of France. Okay, so now 241.43. Let me refresh this. Hopefully something comes here. Oh boy, not yet. Okay, nothing is tailing as well. So I'm going to stop this. Okay, cancel. Start again. But somehow it is not showing up over here. It's taking a very, very long time for it to show up over here in the logs for whatsoever reason. Okay, so again, DFK. Hopefully it refreshes it this time around. Okay. Okay, so it's taking a while for it to come. Typically it comes immediately, but not yet. So for whatsoever reason, it's not showing up over here in the logs. And this is just the IAM role execution. So hopefully once it shows up, you should be able to see it. So when you are doing this lab by yourself, do come over here, look at the log stream, okay, and then look for your command and the corresponding response from the LLM. Now we say what is the capital of, I don't know, Poland. Let's put it Poland over here. It should be Warsaw. Okay, it didn't like it. So what happened? What is the capital of Poland? Okay, what's wrong with that? Okay, let me change the country. Peru. The capital of Peru is Lima. Okay, so it got it correctly. Let's see, still nothing over here. And apparently still nothing over here. So it's not refreshing my logs for whatsoever reason. Okay. Any which ways. So we have essentially completed this step. So you can see that this time around, we are basically using an LLM. So we can pretty much ask anything that we want. What is the best day of the week? Okay, let's see what it has to say. Hopefully it comes up with some creative response. Okay, so the model is not designated to answer this. Okay. Which is the best place to visit in NYC? Let's see if it has to say anything about this. Oh, it's talking about Times Square, which is pretty decent. Okay, Metropolitan Museum, New York Public Library, Times Square, Central Park. Okay, it's Brooklyn Bridge. Not bad. Now we can ask maybe something else. Um, where is Brooklyn located? Okay, so it's telling us that Brooklyn is located in New York City. So, guys, this is how you basically have an agent up and running using Amazon Bedrock Agent Core. Now, this particular agent is using a LLM behind the scenes, and that's why I can pretty much ask any question that I want, and the LLM is going to respond back. Okay. So I'm using Amazon Titan Text Lite. You can use some other model if you like, but this model works beautifully. Okay, so now the final and the most important step, delete all these resources. Okay, otherwise you will get into trouble. And is this updated? Okay, I'm not going to battle with this right now. I don't know why it's not updating for whatever reason, but hopefully eventually it gets there. Anyways, so cancel this. Okay, and right here. So let us first and foremost go ahead and take care of our agent. So delete your agent. Delete. Please ensure that you delete all resources that you have provisioned. There's a short-term memory that was provisioned as well. So delete. Confirm. Okay, along with all this, we had provisioned an ECR repository. So let's go over here and select this, delete, delete. Now we have our IAM role and user. So roles, I'm going to search for my, so this is my role, delete, Control C, Control V, delete. Next thing I'm going to do is delete the policies. So select this, delete. This is very, very important, guys. Okay, otherwise you'll be dinged. So delete the policy. Users, you come over here. This, actually, you go inside first and you go to security credentials. You basically deactivate the key. So deactivate it, delete it. So this is the key. Delete. Okay, and now you basically finally delete the user. So we deleted the user. So we have deleted agent, runtime, memory, ECR, role, user keys, and a user. Finally, we have to basically terminate our EC2 instance. So let's go back to our EC2 instance. We don't need the instance anymore. So come here, instance state terminate, skip shutdown, and terminate the instance. So we have successfully deleted and released all resources. Please ensure that you clean up all resources. If you leave any resources, you can potentially get charged for it. So guys, this completes our lab for today. I hope that this lab was helpful. To practice it, to post your comments. If you're new to my channel, do like and subscribe. And I will see you shortly in some other video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.